Hammond XK5 versus Neo Ventilator. Welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And today we're going to have a look at Neo Ventilator. I've had a request from a chap and I'm ignoring that and I'm continuing with the channel and I'm not deleting everything. But I've had another request from a chap who said, I've looked around on your channel and I can't see much about the Neo Ventilator. So, Jana and an XK5. I think specifically he's interested in the Leslie effect between the two. I've only got a Mark 1 vent here. I've never thought of that as a problem, if I'm honest. The Mark 2 seemed very similar in the little pedal versions and whatever. Absolutely fine. If you're canny, you can pick these up for 120, 130 UK pounds. I would give you the conversion in dollars and euros, but it changes every minute, so it's probably best that I don't. So what I've done is I've taken the XK5 through into the ventilator. I have the bypass switch on and off for my pleasure here and on the ventilator. So that means on a good day, I can play some notes. Here's one. And you can hear it through the vent, and then I can flick it and you can hear it through the internal Leslie Simm of the XK5. It's giggable, the XK5 Simm. It really is. It's completely giggable. But if they made it too good, they wouldn't sell any Leslies. Is that unfair? Let me know. Let me know if that's unfair. But there's got to be, that said, you can make it as good as possible. You're never going to beat the Leslie. You're just not. If your trousers aren't flapping, it ain't working for me. But the ventilator is probably the best one on the market now as a sort of stump box thing, I reckon. And I think the sound of the Mark 1 is pretty similar. So I think it's indicative. I've gigged this ventilator and two previous ventilators because I have a love-hate relationship with them, but I've done 100 or so gigs with this one and a couple of hundred with the previous two. And now I'm on to, then I went onto the 145 for years, my battered old 145, bless it, and now I'm on to the 3300 for the volume. And the 3300 is a little bit sharper, a little bit more brash, a little bit more solid state sounding. See all the videos for that. Then the 145, but it's got the volume, so it's a payoff really. And the brashness actually in the mix in a rock environment really pushes it up to the front, and that scratchiness helps you compete with the guitar and stuff, I think. Anyway, I digress. Lots of other videos you could watch, and if you like this and you want to give something back to me, then you could do a couple of things. You could go to my Patreon at Nick Foley UK and buy me a cup of coffee. Why wouldn't you? Flat white for me, please. Or you could like and subscribe, and that would be wonderful too. You get notifications when I do another video. Okay, let's not mess about. Let's get straight to it. Nice and easy, very boring this one. Interesting if you're about to buy a ventilator and or an XK5 or want to put them together. But as far as the notes are concerned, it's just going to be dullness. So we put an advert break in there. Great, I'll come back. I'll definitely come back to that one. All right, so what we're going to do then, we're in bypass mode on the XK5. So you're hearing the XK5 noises, but you're hearing the ventilator. So we're bypassing both. You hear I've got the key click a bit high. Don't worry about that. Okay, vents coming on. Probably should take the drive off, shouldn't I? Because there's a built-in drive here, which is nice. Emulating a bit of warmth of that Leslie, but let's have that off for the moment so you get the... Pretty sweet, isn't it? bypass vent, unbypass XK5. So now you're hearing the XK5. The Leslie XK5 is largely untouched. There's plenty of configurations you can do on it, but I've not really messed with it because I've always had a Ventura 145 that I've preferred. Interesting, that click is whenever I'm not using the Leslie or not using a vent, the click is accentuated. I think these devices tend to drop it down a bit. That's why I've pushed it a bit. I have pushed it a little bit. Maybe I should change that a little bit. Right. Am I being fair? Ish. There are things you can change on the vent: speed, acceleration, balance, drive and distance. I've got the drive off. The Hammond is kind of pushing the click, which the vent likes a bit more and the Leslie likes a little bit more than the internal Simm. The internal Simm sounds a little bit thin, which is unfair. I can boost that a bit. Compare it with the vent. What do you think? Well, when you put the overdrive on, what do you think? Let me know in the comments, please. Let me know what you think between the two. Okay, quick and indeed dirty. There's the internal Simm in all its glory. Here's the Mark 1 vent in all its glory. I think there's much more I could do and could have done. I'm using the 122 Wild 2 cab, for example, and I thought that was the one that the Neo is trying its best to emulate, so why not? It's a custom cab, but here you are. Let me know what you think. Let me know what I did right, what I did wrong. But at the end of the day, this is the comparison of the machines I've got. So I hope that was informative for you, and to the one guy who asked me and got an entire video, I hope it was what you wanted. I shall see you soon. Thanks very much.